coming up.
Where the demon triad pulled up on the Black Bulls and he said, "We don't care about this boring noble magic. We care about the arcane magic, the weird stuff."
Yeah.
Like, he said, "I'm not fit to be, the heir," and they're like, "What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You have darkness in you. We are in the darkness."
Me binging because I was about like 12 chapters behind, I believe, when I started kind of building up to catching up, and it was one of those things where Black Clover to me is like one of the best binge reads you can ever have because it never disappoints. And I think I am comfortable now saying, now that I've reached this point with Black Clover, we have My Hero, we have all this other stuff, I'm comfortable with saying that this is my definitive, if you want to call it the kind of next generation of shonen, this is my definitive favorite shonen.
Stay tuned.
I'm too sick. Yeah, hey, what? Hey, no. I be like, watch your mouth. They ain't know how far I take it, they ain't know it's my house. Everything I do is to offend. We wanna all win, got a top 10. But I top your 10, but I top your bins, but I top your M's, but I chop your limbs, going crazy, put it on my unborn kids. I'm not an angel, but I'm fly, that's on my sins. Yeah, I don't never pretend, I don't never reach in, looking like I'm thieving, all black and wheat Timbs.
Yo, what is going on, my fellow otakus and otakuettes? It's your boy Cam, and
that's good.
The boy DC, yes sir. We from You Tweaking Media's Black Otakus of the Culture, here to present you guys with a new series that I kind of thought of. I don't know what we're gonna be calling it, probably Black Otaku Reviews. But the idea of this series spawned from, I noticed a lot of times when we do our regular Black Otakus of the Culture episode, we tend to kind of go like, oh, we read Black Clover, or we did this and did that, and we don't really give a lot of specifics as far as how do we feel about things that are happening and things of that nature. So I wanted to kind of start a new series in mind of kind of branching off of those topics for people who are more interested in our more thought out opinions on these said series. So of course we're going to be you see the overlay, we're going to be starting with Black Clover. We're going to be talking about some of the recent chapters, how we feel about certain techniques and backstories and things of that nature. Don't know how long this video is going to be, but it is what it is. You ain't got to watch the whole thing if you don't want to. Put us in the background. On God. So show this new series some love, you know what I'm saying? Like the video, comment. What do you think about this new series? Let us engage with you. Click on that bell icon that's next to the subscription button to turn on post notifications so you guys can be updated on the latest and the greatest as far as content on this channel, whether that be through Black Otaku Plays, Shin Megami Tensei 3 is in effect, whether that be through our new series, Black Otaku Reviews, or our other podcasts. We got Black Otakus of the Culture, Timeless Vibes, Threes from the Rings. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. Also share this video across all social media platforms that you have available to you so that we can engage with a wider audience, you feel me? You see you hear the intro theme is done by that boy Chaz Vibe. Pre-order Durag Season 5 Bangerinos. Link to his Apple Music platform in the description box below. Also, intro art is done by the boy DC, you see. Link to his Instagram in the description box below. Also, he is accepting commissions. If y'all been seeing the Shin Megami Tensei 3 playthrough, he did that dope exclusive artwork for me, and he can do more for you. So hook your boy up, you know what I'm saying? Follow him on Instagram and check out that platform. And with all that being said, let's get started. So we are going to be starting with kind of a brief summary of what's been happening in Black Clover so far. Obviously, this is going to be spoilers, so if you're anime only, might not want to stay. But I encourage you to stay because you ain't gonna be seeing the anime for a while. It's a wadi-da for that. So we are going to be covering the recent 10 chapters of Black Clover, starting with 283. So I think what we can do is, do you want me to kind of give a summary of each of them and then we just like move on to the next one, or do you want to like do a summary and then give our thoughts on the chapters? How do you want to structure this, DC?
I think we should do like a slight summary and give our thoughts, because I think while we give our thoughts, we'll be covering stuff.
Yeah, we can cover the potential topics. All right, cool. I like that. So, chapter 283, this is basically the conclusion to the fight in which they just showcased Asta's new Devil Union form that he has with what's his devil partner's name?
Fuck, what was his name? I gotta look it up.
I think it's like Lead or something like that.
Yeah, I think it is Lead.
So
either
okay,
Lead or Life or
something like that. We gonna call him Devil Nigga. That's his name. So Lil Asta. That's basically what he is. So basically, he just defeated this giant demon that was about to attack the Diamond Kingdom, and like the Wizard King, the guy who was in charge of his trial initially, that was gonna like prosecute him, they couldn't stop him, and then Asta came in and was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, took care of things, put the city on his back like always, and displayed why he needs to be the Wizard King. Big boy things. And we got to kind of see how everybody, I like this part about the previous chapters when they did the little points where they were showing everybody that Asta has impacted as he's met them, and they're like, oh, you were so weak when I met you, and now I see you doing this, or I always thought, I mean, you were just a peasant and now you're doing this, and it's like you got to see them cheering on, like, go Asta, take him down. It was a good kind of moment for me as far as like Asta's character, just to see how now it's like people are like, I don't care if you have devil powers or whatever, you're Asta, and I know that you're gonna save the day. Shit was dope as hell.
I agree. It's like, it reminds me a lot of like when Naruto saved the Leaf Village and they were like acknowledging him. Like, we're seeing that now. Like, he's getting his acknowledgement. I don't think it's too early. I think he deserves it after all the stuff he's done, especially during the Elf arc. He should have been considered, like, you know what I'm saying, a candidate for the Wizard King, because he was putting in the most work. So I'm just glad that he's getting recognition, not that bitch ass nigga you.
Oh, you already know we don't fuck with
I had to sneak diss him, bro. I don't never want to see him. I think that's why the past 10 chapters have been amazing, because this nigga has not been in any of these chapters.
He low key has not. He's been in like briefly in some of them.
Oh, yeah, briefly.
But like, it's not to the point where it's like incoming BS power up or some stuff like that. It's just like he's there. But anyway, we learned that like his Devil Union, it's a powerful technique, but it only lasts 5 minutes. And then afterwards, it's kind of like a Gear 4 scenario, where like he has to wait 30 minutes in order to, well, he says it in a later chapter that he has to wait 30 minutes in order to use it again. So I guess we can kind of go into our overall thoughts on how we feel about Asta's new kind of power up. I love the design. I like how it makes him kind of look like a Dark Knight in a sense. Yeah. Especially since you can go.
Oh no, I'm just saying it's very gothic. Like, I really love whereas it's like real, it's like raw. It's not pristine like everything else he draws. Like, everything's so graceful. Like, he's just like grit. I love it.
Yeah, and it's like you can kind of tell that there's a contrast between, because what they're going for is the contrast between UNO and Asta. As far as like UNO's power kind of makes him look like a holy knight type of thing, and Asta's makes him look like a dark knight. So I do like the contrast between those two. As far as the power up is concerned, I like the fact that he hasn't perfected it yet, because it leaves room for improvement, because we know by end of series he's either going to acquire like a new power within the Devil Union, or he's going to be able to increase his time slot in order to continue using it. But I do like how it's, because he really only had like a week or a couple days to learn this ability, because of the fact that like the devils in the Spade Kingdom were already about to invade, and they were kind of like, everybody else was heading off to kind of thwart them, while Asta learned this new power up. So I like it. I don't think it's an ass pull. I don't think it's like a cop out or anything like that. It fits Asta's it fits his character. I think it flows well into where we are as far as like the current story, as far as like how powerful these motherfucking devils are, and how like he can't, like the little black form that he had before is not go do much to them. And
the thing is, like, people don't realize that when he first like fully use Lieb. He lost his arm. Like, that's not his actual arm. Like, Lieb is giving him an arm. So it comes with consequence. So I love that aspect of it as well. Like, they have to work together. It's not just like, you know how, like, in a sense, Kurama gives Naruto chakra. Like, this situation is different because it's like they have to sync. They have to be in sync.
Yeah.
To really work. So it's teamwork and it's mental concentration. So I love it too. I don't think it's as cool.
I like it.
But so, I do think.
What's up?
Like, do you? Well, we'll probably talk about it later. But I have an idea. So you remember in like chapter 83, you know that other devil that was on the shoulder that was telling him about what's happening with Master Knot.
Yeah.
Do you think that? Because that made me think. Like, is it possible that Asta gets another devil? Because Knot has multiple devils.
Yeah, and like. I'm thinking of it as far as like his, like, you know how he has multiple swords for canceling out different types of magics and like classes of enemies. I'm thinking that it could kind of be similar to that with his Devil Union forms. Like, it could be a scenario where like his Devil Union with Lead is kind of like a powerhouse, like, you know, like let's just kind of kick ass and take names, and then he could kind of have another Devil Union with like maybe the devil that like Noct had, and that can kind of make it more of a technical thing where like he's able to, I don't know, move fast, or it enhances the teleports. It does something like it does different things, like sort of a la, you know, we talk about One Piece a lot, like Luffy's gears. Like how each gear has a different functionality, and even Gear 4 has multiple forms within it that has different functionality. Bowman being more power oriented and Snake Man being more speed oriented. So I think that could be a thing. I don't know. I think it would be dope if he did get one of Noct's demons, but if they want to kind of introduce a new one for him, or maybe even like because of the fact that he has like the black, the 5 clover leaf, that maybe there's another demon inside that he doesn't know of.
That is possible, because the book was a thing before Lead even connected to it somehow. So like, I agree. I think that if he has another demon, I think that'll be a way to, like, maybe him and Leaves, theirs has a specific set time because it's so powerful. Yeah. You get another demon where like, okay, it's a speed, so he could just use that indefinitely or more. I think that's what's gonna. I hope that happens because I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. I just thought of something else too. Like was the demon that like when Asta had first got that black form, was that Lead just appearing to be big, or was that another demon?
I think that was Lead trying to be, it was him trying to appear bigger, because remember when they had the union, he's like, oh, you're not as big as I thought you were. Because I thought it would be kind of cool if that actually turned out to be like another demon. It's possible.
They could always pull that off, because it could just be like Lee could just be like, what are you talking about? Like, type of situation. Like, I just want to take your body over. But yeah, I think all in all, I am very interested to see how they're going to utilize this new form for Asta in future encounters. So moving on from there, as far as other things that happened in this chapter, we get a kind of another, I think, is it in this chapter? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So another topic that we wanted to get into, which is ultimate magic. So essentially, like, Asta manages to thwart the main demon, but there are still other like demons roaming around on the side. The Magic Knights are having difficulty combating them, and that's when we kind of get the typical shonen, like, oh no, something bad's about to happen, and all of a sudden, swoop,
out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere something happens, and it turns out that it is everybody who got transported to that elf world, where they able to came back, and now it looks like they have stronger abilities in the form of what is known as ultimate magic. So I believe chapter 284 kind of covers that a little bit. I'm still a bit confused on how ultimate magic works. Like, I think it's like, So I'm gonna read what the actual chapter is saying. So it says, by making free use of mana method in the Heart Kingdom, you acquire true magic that use enormous amounts of natural mana. In other words, you can use more magic than you actually have. That means there's a chance that you'll be able to artificially use ultimate magic. Your 6 months of training weren't in vain. Here in Elysia, become acquainted with the origin of souls and physically draw closer to mana. Use the superhuman power of magic to acquire ultimate magic. So I'm guessing what this is it's kind of like how in Dragon Ball, where like Goku went Super Saiyan God, and like when he went Super Saiyan God, he acquired God Ki, and he was kind of able to utilize God Ki to turn into like Super Saiyan Blue and like Ultra Instinct and stuff like that, because he kind of already had that foundation. So I'm assuming what they're saying is that because they were in the Heart Kingdom, and the Heart Kingdom uses a specific type of magic that they were exposed to, and now that as a result of being exposed to that magic, and that they are royals or people who have already vast amounts of magic inside of them, they're able to they're able to kind of, it's like a fake ultimate magic. It's not like true ultimate magic, but it's like something similar to that, where they could because she says that like, what is it? You'll be able to artificially use ultimate magic. So it's not necessarily like the true yet, because my theory is that they kind of have a tampered version of what they call, like how Noelle has true water, Luck has true lightning, Charmy being a racist has true cotton. And like they have like these true abilities, but I don't think it's like at their full form yet, because like they've only had 6 months of training. So I think it's more like an introduction to how now that they've had that experience with the Heart Kingdom and utilizing mana method, and that they already have vast amounts of magic inside them, they have access to this magic, but it's not perfected yet.
Okay, then it makes a little bit more sense to me. When I first saw it, I accepted it because I'm really casual when it comes to Black Clover lore and the power system. It just felt the same as a raise at first, but now, as you explain it, that makes more sense. This is just another step, more potent magic.
Yeah, because it was like, with me, I thought it was more so, at first I was like, is this their way of trying to catch everybody up to Asta, in a sense? Because like Asta is, as far as I'm concerned in the series, Asta is it's like Mario Kart, right? Like when you play Mario Kart, it's programmed in Mario Kart that whenever you're in the lead in first place, the CPU behind you is what we call rubber band AI. So you'll be up ahead. Now, you can't technically, unless you change settings or something like that, you can't technically lap a CPU, because they'll always find a way to like speed you, because you can't see anything that's going on behind you. So they'll just like speed them up so that where they're like a certain distance behind you. And that's kind of like what I equate how they kind of like power creep some people, as far as like, because he's like, you give Asta like Devil Union, and it's crazy. Like, holy crap, like this is a really good thing. And it's like, how are you going to match everybody up to Asta's standards? Through Noelle and everybody else, that's the form of ultimate magic. We'll get to Magna later. And through it's this nigga is just naturally gifted with mana, so obviously whatever Asta can do, he can do it just as good as him, unfortunately.
That is unfortunate in a cool way. But I'm not gonna acknowledge, I'm gonna acknowledge Fuegoleon. Like, they're cool because it's like they're the opposite of Asta, where they have spirits that they could siphon and connect with, while Asta has devils. So I find that a cool way. It would be interesting if they could find. I probably would have accepted that more if they had like spirits. I think that would have been more simple to say, talk to the spirits, commune with the spirits, and because you can't use true magic, they can. And if you
siphon it from them, and you'll be able to utilize it. Yeah,
because that's what UNO technically does, is that she gathers mana, like just pure wind, like true wind, and he uses it.
Yeah, because it's the way, because like it's, and this is kind of like a fault in which I see in Black Clover is that he doesn't do a good job of explaining some of his power systems. Like the true magic stuff is all in one page, and it's like
it needs a chapter.
Like if you're somebody who just like you said, like you just kind of casually sometimes read along through Black Clover, if you see that, you're just gonna go like, okay, what you spent, like you got exposed to Heart Kingdom magic, so now you're able to do like what's going on. Like you kind of have to build a better foundation as far as like how they're able to do some of this stuff. I get that they're royals. Royals have a lot of freaking magic reserves. Yeah. And I get that the Heart Kingdom has the mana method crap that allows them to enhance their magic. But you kind of have to relay that to something. Like I think it would have been dope that instead of it just being you were exposed to the Heart Kingdom's magic, it was more so you have access to spirits. Like we get to see a water spirit for Noel. We get to see a lightning spirit for Luck. Like they each kind of get their own, sort of similar to like Lead for Asta. They do the same thing with everybody who was in that Elven land, since they have more ties to like the spirit realm and like magic and shit like that. Instead of it just being you're exposed to the magic, so I guess you can do it now.
It just seems so hand wavy. And then I have another issue where like I lost my train of thought. But yeah, it's not explained that well. I wish it was just spirits. Cause now I remember early on in the arc where the demon triad pulled up on the Black Bulls and he said, we don't care about this boring noble magic, we care about the arcane magic, the weird stuff. Yeah they like focused on that so much, so in my mind I'm thinking, okay, arcane magic is more important or more potent than this like cotton, water, fire. Well, actually no, Charmy's is arcane, I forgot, so hers is unique. But so I'm curious, like, is there a true cotton makes no sense to me. How is there a true form to that? You know what I mean? She uses sheep that cook, that make food, that help, boost vitality, but it's cotton magic. I don't understand how that works.
Even in the panel that like this panel right here that kind of showcases it. Charmy has like this little ball that's coming out of her magic rune spell. Like everybody else is like shooting out these lasers, and it's just, I guess, a giant cotton ball coming out, and it's just like true.
Like, what does that do?
Like what is true cotton? Like I guess it sounds cool because everybody else is like true water, true lightning, true earth, and it's like true cotton. It's like what?
There's a cotton plant, but the way the cotton that Charmy is using is not. What, I don't know, it's just so weird to me.
Yeah, it's not tied to the natural elements of like plant-based cotton. It's like they've established that she has some weird stuff because of her origins as a, what is it? What is she? A half?
Yeah, she's part dwarf.
Yeah, part dwarf. So it's like dwarves have a sort of another unique magic system that she's able to utilize when it comes to her cotton magic. So yeah,
I'll accept that if they do bring that up.
It's weird. It's like I don't hate ultimate magic. I think there's a way I think there's a foundation. It's a very not good foundation, but it's there, and if he can expand on it as far as like drawing more into the true difference between noble magic and arcane magic, how that relates to the rune system that they use in the Heart Kingdom, and how that relates to utilizing ultimate magic, then I think we can talk. But for now, you just gave us a page, and we got to take your word for it.
I see it's a lot. It's like the same issue I have with quirks, but Horikoshi expounds upon it as the story goes on because it's tied to the plot. I don't think magic's tied to the plot like that in the story. It's more the devil stuff.
Yeah.
So he can explain it away. Just keep the devil stuff. Because Asta has no magic, so magic kind of already doesn't matter to me as the viewer. So it's okay to just explain it in like a chapter and leave it at that. Don't leave ambiguity, because I don't care about magic already. So
yeah, especially since every time Asta comes into the scene, it's like, oh, I have this type of magic. Asta does something. What? My magic don't work.
Asta's the number one in the verse. Asta and lead, and because he's a fucking.
He's the rival character. He has to.
he has to be forward. But Asta could beat anybody. because anti-magic. So this array is just true magic. It doesn't mean anything because just one swipe gets it out the way. So
yeah,
there needs to be more done with it.
So yeah, I guess that's kind of how we think about Ultimate Magic. It's there. That's our opinions on it. It's there. it looked cool. Like the color spread in which he showcased it looks really freaking cool.
Amazing.
Dope as hell. But it's like when I first read through it, I was like, okay, Ultimate Magic, whatever. I guess I'll take your word for it. I guess the true good part of the best part of this chapter is so essentially the lower ranking demons that they were kind of fighting, get cut up, and then we just see like mid-ranking devils. So these guys are like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't care about you, you know, I'm gonna eat you, I'm gonna take your mana, blah blah blah, and let's play with these humans. And then, you know, Luck being Luck is like, oh, you strong? Oh, you strong. Okay, all right. So then he goes like, then he activates his ultimate, he activates his ultimate magic again to kind of like turn himself into like this, I don't know, like doesn't Killua kind of have like a similar type of like lightning kind of essence form? Yeah, with the Godspeed stuff. So it's kind of similar to that, and then he basically takes him out by himself.
I love it. The line he says like, "Come on, it's not fun if you can't see me."
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It said this won't even count as a game. I'm like, all right, I like it. So I guess we can also kind of branch off now that we kind of established mid-lower demons. How do we feel about as far as power scaling within Black Clover in relations to what we know about everyone so far as the main cast? And what we know about the demon hierarchy as far as lower, is it lower, mid, and then like supreme, right?
Yeah, lower, mid, upper, and because I know there was like a upper.
Yeah, upper. I think that's the demon triad. They're upper, and then the supreme demons. We'll get to Asta being Asta. But I guess like as far as I like it because to me it's a clear line of threat and it's a good way to gauge everyone's powers. Like especially like when it comes to Luck. Now like when I first saw Luck, I kind of thought he was just one of those like side characters when I first started Black Clover, but they do a fantastic job of like, he was always messed up in the head because it's like, I don't want to fight, let's fight to kill, blah blah blah. But they do a good job of taking that personality and utilizing it to how he grows stronger as a character and why he has a ridiculous pool of mana for somebody who's not noble born. And so now we kind of get to see the results of kind of like before the time skip where he was kind of struggling to fight harder, difficult, like mid-level, I guess we can call them mid to low level bosses at this point. But now he's taking on like, because I would equate like the mid, what's like the strongest, like in the elf arc, I would equate like the mid-level demons to be around maybe that level, like when they fought the elf.
Like they could press the city. Need, like commander, like the captains to like deal with them. Yeah,
I would kind of equate them to that a little bit.
Yeah, because like the captains we have, well actually everybody's kind of like above captain level at the beginning of the story, because a lot of those captains were getting clapped by like low level elves and all that crap.
Yeah,
so it seems like everybody you have to at least be a captain level beginning with Black Clover to even do anything to these lower level, mid-level demons.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. It's just weird because because we have Yami, and Yami hasn't done like too much training, and he's just really strong. You have Flegolion and Marilo, his older sister.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And they're pressing like she's still. They haven't shown the end of that, but she's still fighting that one demon where she kind of activated her new form. And
that big old demon.
So she's still fighting him. So I'm assuming he's an upper level demon.
He has to be because he's just huge. And it'd be bogus if she was fighting a low level. She busts out her new move.
Dude goes like, bro, I'm not even that strong. You out here struggling, activate new forms for me, bro. Like my boss is right there. But yeah, because like Yami didn't really do a lot of training, and he was going kind of toe to toe with the Demon Triad. Granted, they weren't using their full percentage power, but he was still like busting out new moves and stuff like that, going toe to toe with them. So yeah, it's weird when it comes to the main cast, but I think the established demon hierarchy that they have is good as far as like we know where they stand. We know that the Demon Triad is upper. We know what the mid-level demons are because Luck confronted them, and we know what the lower demons are because they confronted them earlier, and we know what the supreme demons are because we'll see that in the later chapter. So that was 285. So okay, this is when we get into some good stuff. Not so this is not stuff. So not is when we were talking about the supreme demons. So basically when it was not in the grasshopper captain, I forgot the guild name, but like something like grasshopper something, but they were basically confronting one of the I think the leader of the demon triad, and basically while they were fighting him, the guy who's kind of like behind the scenes that Nox keeps mentioning, he was able to revive two supreme level demons, but they're not the strongest ones, right? Like they're the lower supreme demons, but they came in and talking a whole lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? They look intimidating, and they like all right, let's play with you. Like, we know y'all weak, so let's play around. I want to play with you, you know what I'm saying? We not gonna kill you. I want to kill you slowly because I want to enjoy this. I mean, it's our first time out here. Let's have some fun type of situation. And this is another topic that I wanted to talk about as far as the way he portrays the demons. It's sort of like the way that Black Clover kind of as a series changed is how I equate with My Hero when they went to the My Villain Academia. It was like it's like a you can notice like there's a change, like a tonal shit, because like prior to like, I mean, with the elf stuff, like when we first got an introduction to like the demons during the elf saga, it was kind of like holy crap, because like the way he draws them compared to the other, like they're all gritty. The way he draws the word boxes and the dialogues that they speak is a different style change, to where it's like if this were to get a continuation, it would be kind of like not necessarily like a horror or something, but it'd be like a thriller element to the way that they talk, the way that they're portrayed. And I think it's a good contrast as far as how he portrays everything else in Black Clover, or everything else prior to when he really started going into the demon stuff.
I agree. Like even their magic, everything's like, when I saw the demons, it reminded me of like Tim Burton films. Just real ghouly, hollow. Like it's just like there, you could tell there's no soul in any of the shit that they're doing. I love it too. It's just even their magic. Like if you see how the humans use their magic, it's like straight beams. But theirs is like all
chaotic,
like,
and
wormy. Like I love it.
Yeah, like the way, like super skinny or like big as hell, but like super skinny. Like the dimensions are weird. Like it's a lot of good, like the eye shadows and stuff. Even the one, I forgot, there was this one color spread in one of the chapters in which he drew the demon triad, but they were like they were kind of like hunched down on the ground with like blood all over them and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah,
like
I saw that was creepy.
Like it was just like, it's like a tonal shift in how it's handled. Like with My Hero, you got some creepy moments during like the overhaul arc and stuff like that, but you didn't get the kind of the despair of what we're experiencing in current manga My Hero. Until after My Villain Academia, until you saw the stuff that happened in that arc, it was like, okay, something's different about this show now.
Yeah.
It's
getting to that edgy part.
Yeah, it's like that's what I'm getting from like the way that the demons are being portrayed, and I kind of like it because prior to that, like the only really creepy thing that we got was maybe the elves kind of taking over the people's bodies, but even still, that wasn't.
I say the creepiest thing was like the Mars flashback where they had the intern camp where they merged the grimoires. Yeah, that was creepy. But everything else was pretty much like standard villainous, but not like I haven't been intimidated. But when I see these demons, I'm intimidated.
Yeah, it's like, okay, these look like real niggas. So big ups to that. So basically, Noct is confronting. So the captain that has like the blades or whatever, he's confronting the main demon triad dude, and Noct is basically trying to preoccupy the two supreme demons that just came out. Basically, he draws them down to a different area, and he's basically like, listen, he activates his monozone, and he's like, I'ma stall until I die because I need to. I'm counting on Asta. Like, he's just like, listen, the only person who can stop these niggas is Asta.
I love that mentality. Like, I feel so bogus for hating on him because he's just straight to the point, like how Yami is. So it makes sense. Like, he's such a black bull, even though he doesn't, he's not super animated. Yeah, that's such a black bull thing to do. I fucking love him.
So
I do have a question though.
What's up?
Do you feel like there should have been more of Noct prior to this situation? Because it feels like I feel like he still could go. There's more to him than what we got. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I feel like because he technically I remember, and this could be false memories, but I do remember like reading earlier parts of Black Clover where Yami was saying like, we have more members of the team, but they're off doing some other stuff. So like it was established that Noct was, but the thing is that like I thought that was Zed, or I thought that was Harry when they first got introduced. Like, okay, these are all the members, but I guess it was like, again, kind of that ambiguity where he was like, there's a lot more members of the Black Bulls than just the people that are present here, and so he could kind of use that excuse to, for a lack of a better term, shoehorn Noct in.
Yeah.
As like, far as that. Yeah.
There was more hints to him. Like, if he was there during the Elf arc, it would have ended way sooner than it would have. Like, I understand he was off in the. It makes sense because the Spade Kingdom, there was a lot more serious shit going on because there was higher level devils over there. Yeah. It would have been cool to just Yami saying like, oh, if Noct was here, and you're like, okay, who's Noct? Yeah. It would be like, it's like when they introduced the demon in the Elf Saga, like if you just saw like this black energy all of a sudden just cut this nigga up or some shit like that, and then you just see him standing like, I come back and this is what y'all dealing with, and then Asta kind of goes like, well, he looks like me when I'm in this form, like, and then it's like, then you kind of like slowly hint towards the whole Devil Union and pact forming and stuff like that at the end of the Elf arc, instead of kind of establishing it in the middle of, or like kind of early middle of this arc. But I do think that it would have been a good, like, at least getting a name drop, I think would be good, because I don't think we got a name drop. Powers is Asta, it does make sense, because remember when Asta didn't have his demon form yet, and like Asta's like, I can't do what you guys do when they were on the mountain. Yeah. And then like, well, no, that was a Fuegoleon's sister, but there was another scene where like Yami told Asta to push past his limits. That makes sense because he knows Noct. He's like, oh yeah, Asta, you could do more than this. Yeah. Or he can be like, you're not the, like, if he hinted like, you're not the only one in the world with these types of powers, something like that. Yeah, I wish he said that. Yeah, like you can use this. Like I've seen people with similar powers to yours or something, kind of like just a little bit, because like the only thing we got as far as Noct's existence was there's more members of the Black Bull than people that are here right now. Yeah. And when I was first introduced to Noct, I was kind of like, Me too.
Like it was like I didn't hate him, but he was just kind of there for me. Like it was more like I guess you're cool. You have similar abilities to Asta, so obviously there's going to be that kind of Jiraiya mentorship type of situation going on as far as expanding Asta's power up. But I was like, there's nothing that clicks to me with your character yet. And I think these particular chapters to me was like, okay, I like you now. I like you now. Because we get a brief. Yeah. He wasn't always like he was. And I think that his backstory does a great job of establishing why. And we get a kind of a brief kind of display of his childhood where basically he's talking about that they were born to this royal family. There are two twins. One of them was like super nice and everybody loved him and he had access to light magic. And then the other one was like delinquent, you know, nobody cares, blah blah blah. He had access to dark magic. But the one that I was like looking at the black hair dude, I was like, oh, that's Noct, that's pretty cool, right? Yeah. Then Yami jumps into he's like, yeah, it's mission time, blah blah blah. And he saw him like, wait, huh? That's not his name. And then it shows that Noct was actually the delinquent dude, and I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah, I like that.
Let me see what's going on to this thing.
Like, what made him act like his brother now? Like, I need to know.
Yeah, and we get that in chapter 286, where he's talking about like how his younger brother, you know, nice guy, everybody loved him, extremely popular, and Noct was somebody who he was born with light magic, so there was kind of that correlation that like obviously he would kind of have that personality, but Noct having more of the darker magic. He was like, yeah, I don't care about that, like I just want to goof around. And as a result of that personality, he blended well with Yami, and his younger brother actually convinced Yami to like, hey, let's be magic knights, you know what I'm saying, let's give this thing a shot. Noct was like, nah, he's not gonna do that because that's not his type of person. But then he saw how well his brother was able to kind of acclimate to his personality, and like, all right, okay.
Yeah, he was like, I don't know how they hit it off.
Yeah, like just kind of like, you know, jealous nigga energies a little bit. You kind of be a little bit like that, but it goes to his parents, because like he was talking about how big of a disappointment he thought he was, but his parents was like, nah, bro.
Can I say something?
What's up?
That scene when like his parents came up to him and was like, he said, I'm not fit to be, you know, the heir, and they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
you have darkness in you. We are in the darkness. We I love that, because I didn't expect that. I expected like the good light brother to be the heir to me.
Yeah, like you kind of expected the stereotypical like, oh, you're such a disappointment, all you do is lie around in the house and blah blah blah. But his parents was like, no, he has light magic. You know, I don't care about that light magic shit.
We can't do nothing.
You got shadow magic. We do you know, forbidden research into this devil shit, and in order to do forbidden research into this devil shit, you need shadow magic. So they basically invite him down to like their research lab, where they're basically saying like, yeah, you know, as a family, we have devoted ourselves to the study of devils for generations. You have inherited that magic and spirit. And basically Noct was like, okay, I like this.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate that too, because like it's good that his family has knowledge of this devil stuff. It's not something he came up with on his own. Like he's proficient because it's been generations of this. Because it would kind of be like, it would be weird if he just stumbled upon a demon because of some edgy stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's like, dang, he low-key's better than Asta, but this showcases he's not better than Asta because he had a leg up. That's
right.
How he knows. So
noble family, so he has that magic reserve, and like his family was an established research family, so he knows this shit. Whereas Asta started from the bottom, now he here. So basically, like it says that his brother Morgan and Yami were basically like shadow and light duo, and they were doing stuff in the Magic Knights, and he was pouring research into this devil stuff, and he's able to At a young age, he was already able to contract with 4 devils, and like his family was like, all right, we go give you this ring, and we want you to try to, you know, contract this big demon. Like, you go do it. We want you to do this. The supreme devil, Lucifucus, I believe. He's classified as a supreme devil. And then his brother is basically like, hey, listen, don't do this, man. Like, as a magic knight, y'all are doing forbidden magic. You're not supposed to be doing this. Come with me, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do this. And then he's like, Noctis like, fuck all that shit. We different. And I'm gonna surpass my limit. The say I'm gonna surpass my limits. And the demon is like, hey, you a little bit too early to try to be summoning me, broski. And basically kills everybody that's in the room. And Morgan tries to stop him, but by doing so, I mean, he's still damaged in the process. And then he dies, and he's like, all I wanted to do was to stand next to you as like, just like how he did with Yami. He wanted to stand alongside him as a magic knight, as shadow and light. And that's why he's in this mindset of this current fight now, where he's kind of like not necessarily trying to make amends, but he's like, I know I fucked up, so I'm gonna do what I can to stop you devils until I die. I like that.
I appreciate it. This actually calls back to when he first met Asta, and he said, I hate guys like you who spout I'm gonna surpass my limits and all that nonsense. He's the one that said that, and that's what caused his brother to die. Yep. So it makes sense that he was like that towards Asta. He's like, you remind me of myself, and you're just like Yami, and I don't like that. It makes sense. Like, I am perfectly fine with exactly how he portrayed Not to be. I think this was really intentional.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's not necessarily a sympathetic backstory, but it's a backstory that's needed to kind of determine his mindset, his mentality of like who we've established Noct as currently. Whereas like now we can kind of see why he acts the way he does, because it's more so, I guess it's his own personal atonement, dyeing his hair and acting like his brother does, like kind of politely nonchalantly a lot, sort of akin to his brother, because it's like, you're supposed to be standing with Yami and I took that away from you type of situation. Even Yami goes like, you and me, I'm gonna form our own guild, we're gonna form our own guild, and I'm gonna be captain, you're gonna be my vice captain at his grave. So it's like, I like how they do that dynamic. And a theory that I have, this is a theory that I have, it may not be 100%, but I feel like if he were to give Noct a future power up, it's him learning light magic, or him having light magic.
That might be cool. Yeah, I like that. I liked it a lot, because it would be dope if he learns like true like shadow, and shadow's the absence of light, so maybe he could do something with that.
Yeah,
demon. That'd be dope. I like that idea.
Of course,
come full circle with his brother.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, I still think at this point in time he hasn't forgiven himself for what happened to his brother, and I think that like, as far as a character arc for him, a resolution will be to accept the fact that like what's done is done, and to not only kind of be true to himself as to who he pictures the ideal magic knight and what he wants to do with his life, but take on the kind of the mantle of what his brother wanted as far as like his ideals of what being a magic knight is, and then he can use that as a way to kind of gain the usage of light and shadow magic. I think that would be dope for his character.
I would appreciate that. Or he could run into a light spirit and it's like, I sense, or he can always write it in where his brother encountered a light spirit, or whatever. I sense the same light in your brother and you.
Yeah,
and I would like that too.
Yeah, so we kind of get more of that, and then basically he gambles by basically doing a double union between two demons, and he calls the mode Gallus X Felis. Looks pretty dope. I like it. And he's basically trying to kind of trap them into this like in his own kind of spirit world where they won't be able to like move in the physical plane at all. And the Supreme Demon is like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Like the demon move looks like, right? The hands.
Yeah.
It looks a lot like
Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
That's what I first thought. I was like, oh, that's pretty lit. It looks kind of akin to it. But then I guess they were like, we didn't like Full Metal Alchemist, bro. The Supreme Demon was like, that shit sucked.
It's like, God, should be double.
Right. And then we kind of get them utilizing their version of flame and ice magic called Devil Ice Magic and Devil Flame Magic.
Now, that I feel like should be what true magic should be, because like fire that burns everything, ice that freezes everything, like things that don't exist or things that they wouldn't necessarily be able to have elemental effect on. I like that. That makes more sense than ultimate or whatever pure.
Yeah, because it makes sense in terms of like how it's weird, because it's like it makes sense as far as like how chaotic devils are, so obviously their magic properties would be chaotic, but in terms of like, but you would expect it to be more so akin to like a status effect, like kind of like how in like JRPGs I could have a fire spell, but then I could like through like customization and stuff like that, I could have a fire spell that also poisons you.
True.
That's kind of like how you would expect devil magic to work, where it's like chaotic magic that does multiple things besides the element that they have, and true magic to be like what the devil magic is currently, that burns and freezes or electrocutes everything.
Like fire that burns underwater. It even burns in like atmospheres that shouldn't burn. Or ice that freezes over like magma. Like I love this. That was pretty dope, because he's like, my domain, my mana zone is non-existent. It's not a material thing. Yep. And they still burnt it and froze it. Like, that was dope.
So then,
and then like the panels of them laughing.
Oh yeah.
That was amazingly drawn. Like the fluidity and just like it's like they're melting, but it's like chaotic. I don't know how to explain.
Yeah, even the forms that they have, like the ice and the fire form, how like the ice is it's not like how Noelle's Valkyrie dress is, where it's like drawn to be a specific way, or even Asta's Devil Union, or Yuno's I forgot what he calls it, his spirit form, where it's like there's a clear symmetric design to it. Their form is asymmetric, it's all over the place, it's chaotic, and then you have that melting, like the panel where there's just like screams of agony, despair, run from this, like it's like they're enjoying this, like they're like, we're not taking this seriously, bro, we're here to have fun. This is our idea of having fun. You suffering is me having the time of my life, and I freaking enjoy it. And it's like, that's that like if this were to be animated, you have a creepy OST playing in the background where it's like the screams and stuff, and you just see the sweat down his face, where it's like, this is it. I tried everything I could do.
Yep.
It's my fate. So it's like, so you even get like this whole time they were only playing, and then you have the devils going like, I can't take it anymore. Let's kill him. Yes, we'll kill him. And then it's like, there's no human who could beat a supreme devil.
Then our boy. That final panel, that was better than the was it 6 Kamehameha wave?
Yeah. This like panel right here, it's a double spread of Asta confronting Dope. Love
Beautiful.
it.
I love his sword is pitch black. Like, I love that. Like, his whole design looks amazing. Just like how you said earlier, where like the devil stuff is kind of like, you know, not pristine. Like, Asta, like I love it. He's a hero, but he's gritty looking. Fucking, I don't know how to explain it, but the artist for this manga is like in his own tier, in my opinion.
Yeah, Yuki Tabata,
I gotta remember his name. I love Horikoshi, but like this guy's just in a different like Horikoshi is like more like clean artwork, clean, very standard. This guy is just like creative, but also has that same clean standard, but it's just really, I don't know, artistic. I feel
like it's the way that he, even how he draws like certain attacks, like you don't really get that in My Hero, but when it comes to Black Clover, like when somebody performs an attack, you get this panel of like super specific details as far as like, especially like with Asta when it comes to using his sword, like him swinging it, the way his face looks, like there's a lot of fine details. It's kind of like I equate it to Horikoshi is like, he does a lot of good background work. Like, you know how you were saying that you want, as an artist, you want to kind of learn how to do more, you know, detailed backgrounds and stuff. Yeah. I get that from Horikoshi, but from Yuki, I get like he can do backgrounds and stuff, but it's like he excels at drawing like character to character moments.
He does. The choreography is really good. Like how you said in My Hero, Horikoshi does this thing where he'll show a character like zone past somebody and he'll show like a impact punch, but you don't really see the impact. Like this guy, he shows the flute, like him actually slashing people actually getting hit and punched. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
We'll get it. I just love it. Like in anime where we dog people where they do like the little fast hand thing, you're not really seeing anything.
Yeah.
I start dogging mangas and comics where you don't really show the fist punch the person, you just show the impact, and then they, you know, speed past them. Like I want to see the impact.
Right. Exactly.
This guy does it.
So basically, this is what we get. The confrontation between Asta and two supreme demons. These are two. So we've established a hierarchy. It's lower, mid, higher, supreme. Supreme devils. These are the devils that they summon, that they're trying to basically, I think they call it the Qualipoth or whatever they call it, where the demon they're all like trapped in. These were two supreme devils that managed to escape via the ritual that they're commencing on Yami and William. So these are demons that they have locked up, chained up, and Asta is by himself because Noct didn't do shit to them. Yeah. He didn't do anything to them. So he didn't wear them down. He didn't do anything. This is literally pristine. I'm powered up versus you're powered up. Because I want to preface this because I don't want people downplaying Asta.
You can't downplay him.
I do not want people to downplay Asta's feat because this is all him. So Noct is like, so Noct basically goes like, leave me, blah blah blah, and then he's like, I love this. I love this. Thanks to you, I got stronger. Live and witness that strength.
Yeah, and then he sees the little silhouette of his. I fucking love that too.
I like that. And then of course Asta being dumb, he's like, "Oh shoot, it's been a minute," because he only has a 5.
like a timer.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
I like that.
I like that. Like, oh man, this is like one of those things where like, if only this wasn't Bandai, like if we got a studio that could like really make a Black Clover game, not that crap we got that nobody, I guarantee you nobody knew that a Black Clover game came out the same year as that Naruto the Boruto Ninja Strikers game. Because they're both the same. They're both basically the same damn game with different characters. That it's like we got a dedicated company where you could have like a transformation and then you could just kind of see how it is like in game, and like how like kind of like how Pirate Warriors, where you have like those time transformations, like when Luffy goes Gear 4th or something like that, similar to like that. Like you could have like, but we won't be able to get that because it's Bandai Namco, unfortunately. That's a pipe dream. Yeah. But anyway, so we get the Supreme Devils are like laughing like, oh, you know, we've never seen somebody like you before. And then Lead is like, oh yeah, he knows them by name. He says Lilith and Nama, high level demons. So basically we get a conference, and it's like beautifully drawn like action scenes. We get like they mix the fire and the ice magic together to create like this big ass tornado. You see how it scales back to like not just standing there looking at everything going on. Asta slicing through the tornado, and then he's like slicing, and then like even the demons are kind of like surprised, and then they're just kind of playing around like, oh, can you hit us with the blade? Can you hit us with the blade? And it's just like you just get a scene of just them going all over the place, fighting him, and then Asta pulls out
my third
sword. I was like, okay, hold on. Design again. Amazing design. I love how this sword, like each of his swords look and feel different, and I love it. So he calls it Demon Destroyer, and it basically negates their magic, so their devil magic, and then he uses the other sword, slices them in half. I'm like,
gangster. That was so gangster.
I'm like, bro, this is what I'm talking about when I say a lot of people saw episode 1 Asta, and they was like, all this nigga does is scream, blah 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 blah, like he sucks and all this other stuff.
Me too. I was one of them.
And I'm just like, I was the same. I was like, yo, this nigga's annoying. I don't like him. But as you grow, it's like out of all of the new age shonen that we kind of like the big 3 as far as new age shonen, we got what, My Hero, Black Clover, and what else?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
So,
I guess Demon Slayer, but it ended, so.
Yeah. So, and I guess it's a shonen, but
I mean, it's in Shonen Jump.
Yeah,
so.
I'll call it a shonen. But like, as far as like we have like Deku, Itadori, and Asta. I think Asta far and above exceeds Deku and Itadori as far as how you design and write a character. Like Asta literally, like, cause like with Itadori, like my standpoint of Itadori is like, I like him, but there's nothing unique about him to me.
He has promise.
He has promise.
Wanting to die around people that he cares about. That's good, but they don't go further into that.
Yeah,
I don't think Doria or Yuji have a moment where Asta had where everybody was trying to help him fix his arms so he can fight again, and he just like cries.
Yeah,
like we haven't had any of the, even Deku, as much as he cries, we haven't had a moment where you just see him doubt himself, but then you don't know that he's doubting himself, but he doesn't say it through dialogue. You just see his actions. Yeah, I haven't had that moment yet.
Because that was a true like moment of weakness for Asta, when it's like you can't use your arms anymore. You like the one thing that you had going for you, because you ain't got no magic.
Yeah,
can't use your arms. You just nobody. And like Asta really only had that anti-magic going for him, and to tell him that he couldn't use that anymore, and like his teammates saw that and they were like, listen, we're gonna do everything in our power to get you cured, and he saw that and he cried. I was like, this is a great moment. That to me, that was the defining point of his character, as far as like there's more to him than just marry me sister Lily, marry me sister Lily. There's more to him than that. And to see him go from like that to now he's currently going toe to toe against Supreme. These are the hot until they go like there's a, I don't know, maybe he goes like there's another like ranking of demons called the king or the god demons or something like that. But these are currently, as we know of now, the highest level ranking of demons, and Asta's going toe to toe. So he slices, I believe this is Nama. He slices Nama in half. We're on chapter this is chapter 289.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one's name? Let me actually go back. Let me go to the actual chapter. Let me see. Lilith. So Lilith goes, all right, you know what I'm saying? You're about to die, so let's play. And basically she absorbs, they kind of like absorb each other, and they turn into this mix. Where now they kind of have access to both Devil Ice and Devil Fire magic. Get a nice little double spread panel of like their combined form. Looks dope as hell. I like it, and like even the eye, like the two eyes in the middle, like is
vertical.
Is creepy as heck, and I like the way it's portrayed, like the wings kind of being like insect wings torn up and stuff like that. Like it's like a lot of misproportions and stuff. Just well done.
Place of where the eyes were at.
Yep.
Just sick character design, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's like another thing that he excels at is like drawing, especially when it comes to like the villain characters and stuff or power ups and stuff. He really excels at drawing that. Like Noel's, I think one of my favorite forms is like Noel's little Valkyrie form, like the way he draws that. Like that stuff is dope. And then kind of like how he's able to kind of sketch in the fact that it's like water based and stuff like that, or like it's fire. Like it's not just some squiggly lines and going like, yeah, this is what I think water looks like. It's like, no, this is actual, like this is like actual, it looks like it's actual water that he's drawn in there. So like, I think that's dope.
With textures, like it's usually like I'll see they'll have like a white substance and say, oh, this is fire, or oh, this is water.
Yeah.
You don't really see the reflective, like he puts that, it's a lot of effort to show the reflective surface on like Noel's armor and the fire and all the other shit. Like you see this.
Yeah, they put like the little kanji symbols that's supposed to be like burn or drip or something for water.
Alright, bro.
And then we get an Asta being Asta moment where he's like, you seem pretty, you're probably incredible and all, but I can't sense magic, so I don't care.
That's what I was talking about earlier, bro. Like, if you want me to care about magic, you gotta make it to where I care, because Asta don't care, then I don't care.
Asta's like, oh, pretty fireworks. I don't care.
I love that, bro. He doesn't have that, like, you know how like in Shounen, where the dudes, they have that little like panel, shows like a line and they sense the energy.
Yeah.
Snap, like, oh my god, this power. Like Asta's
just like,
no.
Okay, I'm gonna swing at it now.
I like that aspect. Like he can't sense what's going on.
Yeah, it's good because it's like it's a good way of. It's not. It doesn't diminish the threat, but it gives us that sense of like whenever a hero faces opposition in any form of media, when we sense that kind of despair, it kind of goes like, oh dang, he's probably gonna lose. But like if you have someone like Asta who's already been through enough shit and he encounters something like this and he just looks at it and goes like, you're probably pretty cool, but it makes you. To me, it's not like, oh, he's gonna like low diff them. It's like, no, I'm looking forward to this fight because it's like Asta's going like, let's do it. I got like 5 minutes left. I got 4 minutes left. Let's fucking do this. It's a sense of hype because it's like now we really get to see what those 6 months of training plus that little training he had with the Devil contract. We get to really see it in its full effect against currently the strongest people in the series so far.
And it's funny that 6 months, they always talk about 6 months. I remember you said like they make that 6 months sound like it was like 6 years.
Yeah.
And the 6 months that they did isn't even true magic. So it's like come on now. I think like the only person that really is using their training right now is Magna.
Yeah. Oh man. We're gonna that's after this confrontation. Like the last two confrontations that we have currently, it's like, damn, bro, why does the anime? Because this is the shit that I would be like, because I wouldn't watch all of the Black Clover anime, but if you told me Asta's about to fight the two Supreme Demons this episode, I'm tuning in because I want to see that animated. I want to see how they do it, but. We gotta pray and hope for a Bleach situation. Like 5 years down the line, they start to pick it up again.
I hope a movie at least, like do like. Well, they're not Demon Slayer. You're right. They're not gonna get it.
There's this. It's like one of those unfortunate things where, like, I mean, like Black Clover isn't like terrible or anything like that. Like I think it does pretty well, but it's not Shonen Jump. It's not raking in the big bucks. It's not Dragon Ball.
Manga.
Yeah, it's not Dragon Ball. It's not My Hero. It's not Demon Slayer. It don't pull. It's not One Piece. It's not pulling in them numbers and that audience. It has an audience, and it has something. They have some, but it's not. It's not as popular, which is unfortunate. But
it is unfortunate.
It is what it is.
Hopefully, like, I just hope that, because I feel like a lot of these shonen mangas, they get an amazing production team and they over animate a lot of panels that would be meh if you just see it. But because it's anime, like, I read Jujutsu Kaisen before Jujutsu Kaisen came out, up until like the Black Flash scene with Nobara and Yuji. A lot of the scenes that people were like nutting over, I was like, okay, this is cool, but the anime just adds that extra flair. I think Black Clover would get a lot of new viewers if they animated this fucking arc. They just stayed. Yeah. Just continued. Black Clover would have came up. I think it would have been Black Clover's time.
Because to me, this is actually, I'll save that. But so we get that they basically combine this like super spirit ball, devil ice magic, devil fire magic attack. They throw it down, and he's like, even if you somehow manage to dodge it, that whole city is gone. So you gotta, if you don't do something about it, everybody down there is gonna die, and everybody is seeing it. They're going like, what the heck? And then like Asta's like, all you did was get bigger. I got bigger too. And I'm like, okay. Okay, I'm standing this man, bro. He takes the sword, and then you get a nice little panel of him expanding it like it's a huge freaking sword. Calls it Demon Slayer. Shouts episode 19. But he like takes it, and he's basically trying to just slice the spirit ball or the spirit bomb thing away. And then Magna sees it. Like, we get a little shot of Magna saying like, just how big are you gonna get? Pause. And that's the end of the chapter.
I love that foreshadowing.
Really good foreshadowing.
It's crazy because you started out with Luck, right? Luck set the stage. Asta was like the main event, we thought, and then we get,
Magna. Yeah.
I love it.
So then we get Asta says he has 2 minutes left. He takes the second sword, the katana-like sword, Demon Dweller, and he basically just starts cutting. He's just using all of his magic negating swords just to see if he can diminish it. And then he's able to do so. He kind of cracks through it, and then he uses Demon Destroyer, and that's when the devil starts having these thoughts. It's like, hold on, what is this guy? He's like, and then I think, no, this is Lead, and he's like, I was the weakest one in the first level of the underworld. I could never have been a match for these supreme devils. And then you get a panel of like Asta saying thanks for sticking with me, and then he's like, that's my line. Thanks to you, I can fight these guys at the highest level. Dope stuff. And then you get the devil's point of view, where they're like, my attacks don't work at me. He keeps attacking me. There should be anyone like that. And then he's like, what are you? What is this demon? He's like, you don't have to know. You never needed to learn. The highest devils in the first level underworld, no one was a threat to you. So of course you can't understand. It's called fear. I was like,
I love it.
I was like, yes. This reminds me of when Vegeta was fighting Android 19.
Oh, do you feel fear? Android?
Said, do you androids feel fear? And like Android 19 was like, like, it reminds me of that. So then the devil, the devil goes like, oh, nope, I don't want no parts. He tries to escape. And Asta's trying to reach him. And that's when Noct comes into the clutch. Yep. Basically kind of appears behind him and goes like, no, I'm gonna hold you down because you ain't going no place. And then he's like, what irony, Supreme Devil. You have vast magic, and what you fear are a human and a devil who have no magic at all.
I love this thing. And Side note, didn't you think that anti-magic was just a double thing at the beginning of the series?
I did.
And it's interesting that it's not a double thing. Like, this seems like it's exclusive to Lead and Asta.
Yeah, it seems like they're like, because even Lead was saying that among the demons, he was like a rare exception because he couldn't use magic. So he was like the lowest of the low. And it was the same thing with Asta, where it's like, I guess it's because, and that's another thing that I hope they go into, is like more of the properties of anti-magic. And I think that if the requirements to utilizing anti-magic is literally being born with no magic abilities, I'm fine with that.
I love it too, because that's perfect. It's unique and it makes sense and it's perfect for Asta. But it also opens up the door. Do you think the final villain or whatever is gonna have anti-magic?
Ooh.
If someone pulls up with anti-magic with
or like anti-magic, like he's able to negate Asta's anti-magic for some reason.
I don't, or maybe Asta's anti-magic doesn't. Maybe he's like a physically, like just a physical specimen, and since he uses anti-magic doesn't work on him the way.
Oh, so it's like he first encounters him and it's like, okay, why is my attacks not working? You're using special ability, and it's like, I don't use magic. This is all me.
like he slices him, he can't slice him because it's like, yo, bro.
Like this is these pectorals, everything. This all me, bro. I ain't got no I ain't got no grimoire. I ain't got none of this. I was born like this. I don't have no magic. And then that's when like you could have something as hype as Asta just having just a sword that just says, this is a spoiler. No, I can't spoil it. I can't spoil it. I can't spoil it. I was gonna say it was gonna be a spoiler for Xenoblade, but I don't want to say it.
All right. I have another idea. So you know how there's other races? There's dwarves, and Yamis. They established that the whole world is not just on the continent they're in. There's a Japan. What if like we have devils, we have elves. Maybe there's a new race. Maybe giants or I don't know, orcs.
Yeah.
Just physical anti-magic specimens. I think that'd be kind
I
of
would like that. And then you could even open up the gates for Asta to have like some ability that just negates stuff. Just it doesn't negate it just negates stuff. Damage.
Like he could do a better full counter.
Yeah.
That'd be decent. But yeah. I think that's it for
that's it for that. And then he slices the demon in half, and Devil dies, and Asta and Lead split, and the chapter ends with them going like, yeah, we did it. Love it. Asta by himself took out 2 supreme demons. But how we be talking about Deku as the number 1 hero? It's Asta.
And that's another thing, bro. Do you think full powered Wizard King would be able to do this? Because he got smoked by an elf. You know what I'm saying?
He was going all out from what I've noticed.
Yeah. I mean, granted, he was in a hostage situation. He had to use his magic to save everybody. So you could kind of... But at the same time, it's like, how strong was Wizard King Julius?
I think he's strong, but I don't think like if it was him versus these 2 supreme demons, I don't think, because it's like their magic, the devil's magic is so strong enough that it burns away or it freezes everything and stuff like so. Like their magic is strong enough to eat at other things. So like if he were to use his time magic, go like, I'm gonna put you in a perpetual plane of existence where you repeat things over and over again. They'll just be like they're literally like Noct was literally saying that I can't do anything with my magic or like my mana zone and stuff like that because their magic, it's higher than what we humans have. The only thing that can stop it, anti-magic.
Facts. Or whatever pulls out.
Oh yeah, whatever super ultimate omega mana zone. I absorb your magic and I become a god. Whatever they want to do, because I have a feeling that his time to shine is coming soon. He hasn't had a limelight fight in a minute, and you know they got to play catch up with that nigga.
His triad guy is the only guy that's not out.
Yeah,
so.
and he did get a power up, but we didn't see him like really fully utilize it. So he might have something else up in his sleeve.
I'm gonna roll my eyes and skin that chapter.
So then we basically get knocked in Asta talk. Asta goes like he gets a knockback effect from using it a la Gear Forth, and he can't utilize it for 30 minutes, so he has to wait.
That face he makes is funny as hell.
Yeah. And basically he's saying, and Noct is still saying that they still have to get to the location where the scientist dude is using the process to continuously summon the demons from the Quailapath or whatever the place that they're trying to get them from. And so then we cut back to where the captain is trying to fight the main demon triad dude, and he's like, dog, you literally can't do anything to me. And he's like, well, I'm gonna slash you. And he's like, bro, you're not slashing me, so stop that. And then we get from the smoke little fireball, you know what I'm saying, exploding fireball. And then that's when Magna pulls up to the scene, and he like, yo, all right, let's get it. And he's like, talk about, he's like, nobody's like you should be here. No, little did he know. So then it's like, I like how they set this fight up. I like how they set it up as far as we know that this dude, the demon triad dude, is like OP as hell. He's like, he has a whole bunch of freaking magic. He can do all this stuff. And Magna, the last time we saw Magna was when they were in the Heart Kingdom, and they were talking about you can't use the mana method because you ain't got no magic, or you have magic but you ain't got a magic reserve like the nobles or someone like Luck.
And he doesn't have arcane magic either. It's just regular. So they kind of shitted on him. I didn't appreciate that.
So then he basically left, and we didn't really see him afterwards. So when he pulled up to the scene, I'm like, all right.
I was happy, but low-key I was worried because they did say, like, the moment for him to shine, I thought would be with the lower level demons, but they got smoked. So I'm like, okay, how is he going to contribute? Maybe is this going to be a tag team? I did not expect what we got.
Yeah,
I'm happy with what we got.
So he's like, I'm taking you down by myself, and he basically like kind of activates, and Magna kind of gets a taste of how strong he is. And then like it kind of flashes back to like I know you're tough, and these I think it's a flashback of like when they were fighting. It was when Yami and them were fighting, and then Zed and them and Magna were standing in the background. He's like, spell's not complete yet, you're not gonna be able to help them. And it shows like Magna kind of getting choked up, and he's like we get like a lot of good stuff from that, and then Magna attacks him, and he's like throws a fireball at him. He's like, all right, attack me. Throws a fireball. He's like, okay, what the fuck is this? Then there's a rune, and a chain comes out and attaches, and then he's like, the form that he has diminishes, and he's like, what the hell is going on? And then Magna's like, oh, this is half. He's like, oh shit, this is a lot. He's like, there's no way a peasant like me could squeeze out magic like this. That's why I came up with this spell. Kind of has like these flame chain knuckles, and he goes, secret flame magic, soul chain death match.
I love that name. I think this is also another example of like what, you know what I'm saying, you could make. I don't know, I like this more than the true magic stuff. Yeah, because it doesn't feel like, because when they go into depth with it in the next chapter, it's like it makes sense in terms of like how he could prepare, because like this isn't something that he came up with on his ad, like out of nowhere. This is something that he prepared for, and it's like he literally says, I can only use this one time. Yeah, it's a setup, like it's a setup technical move, and he was only able to get it off because he's like the triad guy he let him. free shot. That's all he needed was one shot.
So then, like, he punches him in the face. We get I didn't even feel his first attack, but once, and he goes, I put your magic and my magic together and split it equally. This is how I fight with you ultimate types, peasant or not. Magna's swing of the Black Bulls is gonna crush you.
Dope.
I love it.
I love it.
Because it's not necessarily ass pull magic or like he got some insane power up. I like it. This reminds me of One Piece with Nami. How during the confrontation with like when they were running from Big Mom and Nami was like, she noticed Zeus and she was like, Zeus, take these thunderclouds. You take these thunderclouds, eat them. And then she's like, okay, we got to find somebody to stop Big Mom. Take the thunderclouds, Zeus. And then she was like, thunder tempo, and used Big Mom's attack against her. You don't need Nami to get like a 6-pack ab out of nowhere and activate some super secret hidden form. Having a technical fight in which it's not necessarily reliant on I'm strong, but more so I'm smart. I love those battles.
I love those battles too. And I love it when a character leverages like a power source that's not from their own, that's really situational. I wouldn't expect it from a character like him either. You would expect it from a more stoic.
Yeah.
You expect Zed to do it. This take. But it's Magna, and I appreciate that little twist. The hothead of the group has the most technical move in the series. It's crazy, and I love the flashback to it.
Yeah.
And I think this is the explanation. We got a thorough explanation of how this works, better than the True Magic stuff. Hopefully he does the same way where you take a whole chapter and explain it.
Yeah. So it's like, so to kind of, I'm not going to try to explain it off top. I'm just going to read it how they do it. So he says, you called it. I do use that mana method thing, but from what I hear in the Heart Kingdom, they put mana method together on the spot and make it part of the fight they're in. To use that style, you need a ton of magic, good instincts, and fast reflexes. I'm a peasant. I've got none of that stuff. All I can do is put the arrays together slowly beforehand. That's especially true for powerful ones like that counter trap spell. Us peasants have an advantage of our own though. Runes we make with our puny magic are so puny they just stick around. That means we can take a ton of time and build super complicated arrays in advance. I like it.
Yeah. I love it too. And it's perfectly balanced because this is what Magna can do. He's not the smartest dude. Imagine like future in the series, how arrays can be used by peasants. That's interesting. Imagine if a noble was able to use arrays the way they do. Like if they just took the time instead of just doing it mid-battle, let's just take the time to pour my mental energy into one spell.
Yep. But I do like how they kind of make it more so an advantage for people who aren't noble born or have that magic reserve by saying because they have such large magic, they can only just release it. They can't store it like we, because our magic is so small, our reserves are so small, it just stays there. So we can plan out for this stuff. Whereas because their pool of magic is so much more bigger than ours, it's like they just gotta release it. It's like a sneeze. A chew.
I love that. And the soul chain flame thing, it reminds me like Ghost Rider type. Type. I love it. It makes sense. It's like a theme to the ability that you would get from like, because how they explain arcane magic is like arcane magic stuff that's not found in nature. It's a unique thing.
Right. He
was dogged because he didn't have arcane, and now he has a very archaic ability. I like that.
Yep.
I appreciate that. Man. And what he's about to do with that, bro.
Yeah, so
you don't know how hard it was for me not to say anything on the pod.
And that's why I wanted to do this video, because it was like I just think it would be such a disservice for like moments like this to just go like, yeah, I like, if the next Black Otakus of the Culture episode, I go like, yeah, I read it, it was dope, and then it's like, I want to talk about this, you know.
True. Like we have to go in depth. because this you can't skim over this. I was like, bro, when Cam gets to this, it's gonna be crazy.
I was like, yo, this shit was absolutely amazing. So we get basically Magna is studying arrays and all this other stuff in order to fine tune his magic spell. So then he goes, it took me half a year to make and I managed it because I'm me. Come on, it ain't that complicated. A one-time only spell that's mine alone. I just linked us up and split our magic equally. So Secret Flame Magic, Soul Chain Deathmatch. I love it. I think it's one of those things where it's like Magna shows up like if you were just like if they stopped the chapter when Magna threw the fireball and it was just like, and then if they stopped it with I'll take you on by myself, it'd be like, how? Yeah. How are you doing this? But to make it so where it's like it's not an ass pull, they've been established before in the past that Magna has to use other methods to catch up because he doesn't have a large magic reserve. And they established the whole 6-month time skip. They established that where is he? And then when we see him, it's like, all right, he's back, and now he has this new spell, and it's dope. It's dope to see. So he says, "Hey, let me give you a heads up. That chain is our souls. If you yank it out or break it, you'll go insane. So better be careful."
Man, it's so OP, but I love it. And I appreciate the fact that he said, I dedicate my entire 6 months to just making this one move. So he didn't have anything outside of this.
Yep.
I could believe that.
But it's not even that, because it's more so he only has the one spell, but he still spent 6 months learning everything there is to know about mana methods, runes, and arrays. So it's like now that he has that knowledge, it's like, okay, 6 months and I learned how to do this OP shenanigans. Future Magna, I'm looking forward to what he can do with these arrays and stuff, because I feel like there's a lot more to come from him. Because
it'd be crazy if he had like he has multiple techniques that he can just pull out end the series. It's just, and he's not that type of guy. You wouldn't think he's that type of guy. Yeah,
and it's like I think it might even get to the point where he's able to like make. So for now, he can only utilize he can only do one soul chain link. We don't know how long. Like afterwards, maybe it might take him even less time to prepare another one. But in the future, we could get where it's like a bunch of high level enemies, and he just goes like soul chain, soul chain, soul chain, soul chain. Come here. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Like it just like you just hey, come on. It'd be so freaking cold. So then we basically go like we get a fight where like it's just fisticuffs.
They brawling, bro. Traditional Shounen.
And then like basically he's trying to use his magic. He's using his the demon triad is using his gravity magic to kind of combat him. And then Magna just takes it. He goes back like he said, "Didn't you say I could attack you as much as I wanted?" And he's like, "Shut your mouth." And then he's like doing some more magic, and he's like, "Man, we got the same amount of magic, so I could take this shit, bro. I don't care." So he just starts like punching him, and then he's healing up the magic. He's like, "No matter what you do, as long as I can regenerate with body magic, you'll never manage to defeat me." Pressed. And he's like, get down on your knees and regret that you got up above yourself and defied me. And then Zed is looking at the fight, and he goes, even if it put you on your knees, you struggled and continued to fight. You kept the smoldering fire burning and kept preparing right up till today. It doesn't matter if your opponent's the enemy boss. And you get some dope scenes where he's like bobbing and weaving the attacks, like some cold stuff, or immortal, win this, and it ends with him slamming him down on the ground. Cold ass pen. Like this is the type of shit I'm talking about. This stuff right here is what he excels at with this manga. That is so dope. And it's like, damn, bro, like imagine seeing this in the anime.
I have a hot take. Oh, you know, all them Rock Lee niggas with the drop the waist moments, they gonna be on Magna's dick, bro.
Yeah.
In this chapter.
Yeah.
Bro, he has low magic and he's able to be a triad.
Oh, yep. It's kind of
I would read them niggas.
I'd be like, yeah, bro, I stand this nigga too. I fuck with him.
The difference between Rock Lee, he finished the fight.
He beat him. That's the difference. He beat him. So it's like I can get you standing him because he beat him by himself.
By himself, no ass pull, no he's not getting hyped because he was able to damage the triad. He finished the job.
He finished it. Came up with a new technique and defeated him on his own. You gotta stand that. So then we get to the next chapter. So this is I think this is the end of it. Chapter 293. We get my boy Luck. He's like he's zipping through. He's like, this magic. Like I sense this magic. Dark, the demon tree-eyed dude is going like, man, you put me on my back, bro. I don't like that shit. And he starts going to saying he busts out a sword. And they basically start attacking each other. And then he's like, yeah, I don't care if you stole half my magic. I don't care. I'm just gonna constantly regenerate. I don't give a shit. And then he's like, you can never beat me. And then he's like, Magna's like, that's right. I'm just a peasant. I wasn't born awesome like a noble or a warrior. I'm not Luck. He's a commoner, but he's got incredible instincts. Ever since he reincarnated as an elf, he kept getting stronger too. I'm also not that. I'm not Asta. That kid's a peasant like me with zero magic. And he's got even less than I do, but he has anti-magic, and that stuff's completely insane. All I've got is, so he's talking, it's a flashback where he's talking to Yami. He's like, why am I part of this team? And he's like, you look like the gutsiest one out there. And he says, I will never lose to you when it comes to guts. And he's like,
another
I can't.
amazing character moment.
It's like I can't. Like, I'm looking at My Hero and it's like I got a list of characters I can't fucking stand. Like, I look at it and I'm like, I don't like you. Black Clover is really just, but like when it comes to the main cast, I'm just like, all of them have such impactful moments where it's like, I cannot say that I hate you or you have contributed nothing to the series. So having this moment for Magna is dope as hell. So he's just like bobbing and weaving. He's still fighting him. And he's like, I busted my brain with this magic strategy. I train like crazy. You got no right to complain about it. So he's just going back and forth, beating the fuck out of each other.
Panels are just them boxing. Bro.
They're just boxing, throwing straight hands, bro. I'm gonna blast you to smithereens. And then he's like, nice try. He recovers himself. And then he's like, this is reality. It's all pointless. He's about to go in for the finishing blow and pop.
No more magic.
No more. It's like he's in his like regular human form. He's like, what the heck is going on? And he's like, the devil's power, like, it disappeared from me. He's like, we said, what did you do? He's like, I didn't do a thing. He said, you and me are both just out of magic.
Yeah.
He's like, with your monster magic, I bet you've never run out before. You've also never fought anybody who has as much magic as you do. So you didn't realize that you were burning through so much, did you? He said, my own magic's tapped out, and so I lost connection to Luciferio as well. He said, now you can't use any decent spells. Not gravity magic or my super regenerating body magic. But neither can uppercuts his ass before he can finish it, bro.
That panel is sick.
Just uppercuts this nigga, bro. He said, I can't possibly lose. Not me, not Tua. And then Mana goes, shut up. Punches him. And then both Asta and Luck come into the room. They just stare there. They see Buddy laid out on the ground. Magna just going like, dope fucking panel. And that's the chapter.
That's a defining moment in Black Clover. Like, we just read, like, if it ever gets animated, but just manga in general, that's a panel. That right, when I was reading it, bro, I was like, yo, and I rarely do that if it's not a One Piece chapter or Chainsaw Man. So we're not talking about that. But bro, the fact that Magna is the one that folds the guy that pressed all of the Black Bulls as a whole.
Yep.
And it's him to do it. And like Luck, it's amazing that he has Luck and Asta there because they both have their own like volition or ambition to take this guy down. And he subverts our expectations by having the least likely guy take him out and it makes so much sense. It's not an ass pull. It's not a like he does a guts like I'm gonna surpass my limits. I'm gonna outwill you, but it makes sense. It's not like a friendship power up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
because it's not necessarily. It's like because he's a commoner, because he doesn't have huge amounts of magic pool, you would expect him to be like Asta, where Asta physically trained his body to the point where he's naturally strong. So Magna has that edge as well, but you have somebody like the Dark Triad dude who is so over reliant on his devil union, devil powers, and his gravity magic and his regeneration abilities. You would think he's cocky, where it's like he doesn't really train much because he's like, you have no magic, you can't. He's like, bro, I'm a peasant. If I ain't got my magic, I got my hands. Like, like it's just one of those things, G. So he was able to beat him, and I think that, like, me binging, because I was about like 12 chapters behind, I believe, when I started kind of building up to catching up, and it was one of those things where Black Clover to me is like one of the best binge reads you can ever have, because it never disappoints. And I think I am comfortable now saying, now that I've reached this point with Black Clover, we have My Hero, we have all this other stuff, I'm comfortable with saying that this is my definitive, if you want to call it the kind of next generation of shonen, this is my definitive favorite shonen.
I'm with you, bro. Like that, My Hero, the only time My Hero made me feel this way was with Muriel, but we saw what Horikoshi did to her. But that aside, like My Hero has its moments where I'm like, I'm all in. If you're watching Black Otakus, you can see I'm praising this art, but we all know it's not going to continue because the main allure to My Hero is the kid shit. Black Clover, I'm with Cam. I gear more towards it because I love all the characters, and it's not that drama, you know what I'm saying, superficial plot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Character moments. It's actual, I mean, it's not new, it's not groundbreaking. You could say it's cliche, but it's entertaining nonetheless. It does the cliches right.
Exactly. I think it's one of those things where it doesn't have to, like, there's nothing new under the sun. So it's not that it has to like absolutely just go like, oh my god, like like he just did something new, like clickbait YouTube chapters. Black Clover did something that no other shonen has ever done before in the history of shonen. It doesn't have to do that. When I'm reading Black Clover, I'm not looking for Oscar bait. I'm not looking for some groundbreaking like amazing story of the year shit. I'm just looking to be entertained, but not treated like I'm an idiot. And Black Clover does a good job of saying, like, listen, we're shonen, so obviously you're not going to be expecting deep complexities and all this other stuff that you would expect from other mediums. However, we're still not going to treat you like you're a freaking idiot. We're going to still provide you with entertainment on top of the technicalities. Like when it comes to Magna's fight, we're going to provide you with some of the creepy thriller moments that you really wouldn't expect from shonens, with the whole devil stuff going into that. Like it treats you like a respected viewer, reader, or whatever in that with Black Clover, and that's why I enjoy it so much. Also stemming from the fact that I think a huge part of it is the fact that it's one of those series where a lot of people just like to dog on it because they heard this famous YouTuber say, oh, episode 1, Asta screams a lot, so I hate this show, blah 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 blah. But it's one of those animes where it's like, if you sit down and just actually read it, you know, shout out to King of Lightning, like he actually just started recently reading the Black Clover chapters, and he even came out with a video saying that I like Asta. And it's like, yeah, like when you take the time to read Black Clover, if you get out the mentality of my like famous YouTubers or Dragon Ball this or Naruto this or all this other stuff, if you get out that mentality and just go like, let me just read it for what it is, you'll find that it's a lot better than you would be expecting it to be.
And that's boils down to people. You have to form your own opinion. You have to actually read stuff, not go for the hype. I think that's why me and Cam enjoy it so much, because there's not that pressure that you get from One Piece or Jujutsu Kaisen or other I Attack on Titan, for an example. There's not that hype. So there's nothing that's taken away my enjoyment. And so if you're searching for a shonen to read that's not overhyped, you can just have fun reading it, read Black Clover if you haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
You're doing yourself a disservice.
You won't be disappointed. I would say, like, if you don't and like watch the anime, because from what I've heard, the anime, like, cause I think Chris read or watched all of the Black Clover anime and he enjoyed it except for like the filler stuff. So like, if you want to just watch the anime and then continue on from where it left off in the manga, I would highly encourage y'all to do so, because Black Clover is a series that is definitely heavily slept on.
Super slept.
Because if you talk to a nigga about Black Clover and the first thing they say is, I don't watch it because Asta screams a lot, lost cause. like it's so
like, I remember when Cam first told me, he's like, bro, you gotta get into it. I'm
yeah.
like, ain't no way I'm gonna get into this shit. And I read it, I'm like, yo, this is pretty good.
Yeah, because like, so like putting it out there, knock on wood, me and DC hated this series. Like I was dogging this series. Because I was the first one to go into it, and I was like, bro, this is bootleg Naruto. I call like the first little arc that they went to where they had to like stop this dude that had like ice-based power. I was like, I called it the bootleg Zabuza arc. I was like, bro, this series is trash, blah 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 blah. But then I was like, just then one day I think I saw a video of like a clip of the anime, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch the anime, I'm gonna get to a certain point, I'm gonna start reading it. And then once I started doing that, I was like, I actually really like this anime. So then that's why I was like, I went to DC and I'm like, check it out, bro. Like this is good. This is really good. So
I took his word for it, because Cam, yeah, if you watch Black Otakus, Cam is not easy to impress. So if he tells you like, hey, read this, I'm like, all right, this ain't gonna be a waste of my time.
Yeah, if you get me like it, I could even go into a series hating it, but if it's something that like you get me where it's like, okay, hold on, let me read a little bit more into this, I'd be like, all right, I'll check it out. Like, so Black Clover did that for me, and I think with that, I guess we can kind of end it off. Actually, let's see, I guess thoughts on how you think the next couple chapters are gonna go.
I think since we still have we're gonna get some stuff. We're gonna get some like spirit information. Maybe through we'll get more of the true magic stuff through the little sprite.
Oh, because I definitely think he's gonna bust out some ultimate magic.
He's definitely gonna bust out ultimate magic. The thing is Yami and William have to come into play. So whoever is available to cut them out the tree or whatever. My thing is, do you think that, because there's a possibility, I think it go two ways. Either they don't close the portal and all the demons come out, because at the beginning of the series, you see that giant demon skull and the Wizard King killed it. I think Asta has to do something of the same caliber to protect Hodge.
Yeah.
So that's where I think it could go. They win, but they don't win. You know what I mean? That's how I think it's going.
Because I still think that, like, I think there was like a recent interview or something where he was saying that Black Clover is close to finishing. I think but I do think that there's still room for, like, I mean, I know we talk about this when it comes to Shounen, but I think that this is a trope that I do love in Shounen, is the time skips. I do think that there is an opportunity for a 2-year, 3-year time skip, as far as like you can establish, like, they rescue Yami, they rescue William, but something happens to where they are able to kind of like resurrect or bring forth like more forbidden magic or something like that, to where there's still the threat of the devils, and then you've already established that there's different races as far as like your world. So it's like, okay, you might have temporarily dealt with the devils, but you got this other race of beings in all the way over there. Like, it could be like trolls or gnome giants, like you said. Like, there could be another established group of people that have like magic that is a threat to the Diamond King. Like, even they could even use this kind of as how like the Robin rescue arc was. Water 7 was like when like they burnt down the flag, and that was like the centerpiece for a lot of the conflicts that happened because Luffy declared war on the world government type of situation. This could be the arc in which they deal with the devil problem, but it sends a wider message to the world that like the Diamond Kingdom is low-key a threat. Like they're able to handle like these devils, like it could be known around the continent or the world that like these devils ain't nothing to sneeze at, and like the fact that the Diamond Kingdom was able to handle them, it could be like a false message of like we're superior to you, and like an artificial declaration of war, and you can get other nations and other people with unique magic. We get more information on arcane magic, on like Charmy's roots being a dwarf and stuff like that.
I like that. So
like we could get a lot more of that. Like you won the day, but you didn't.
Yeah, like Asta beat. It's like in Justice League where because Superman died, whenever so like Asta beat Asta Magna. The Black Bulls beat these heavy hitters. Clover Kingdom beat these heavy hitters. What if we find out like Yami's like Japanese folk? They're like, hey, them people over there, they just took down a demon. They a little bit of a big of a threat. Can't take that. Can't do this. Or like, what if in Japan, like where Yami's from, there's like yokai?
Ooh, different classes of like demons. So it's like they introduce it where it's like, yeah, those were like, because you remember how Lead was saying that there's like a he was like the first level demons. Like the yokai could be like, yeah, you have like the qualipath, but it's kind of like the system of like how like in Marvel with the MCU when it comes to like the Midgard, the tree and stuff like that. There's different branches of like the demon realm, and you could have different branches of like higher tier like devils or monsters or evil spirits or whatever you want to call them. That's like, yeah, you just dealt with like lower threat. Like those devils, that thing that you sliced up and had, like you could even do something where like the way they get introduced is like you have like a devil that was similar to what Asta did, and then you have like a small like lower common level yokai just come up and slice them in half,
knock them away. It'd be crazy if those yokai, they don't use, because Yami said he learned ki before he learned magic.
Yeah.
So yokai don't use magic.
Yeah.
Physical beings. You can't just anti-magic it away because there's nothing to anti-magic.
You got to learn a different ability to deal with them. I think that'd be dope.
That would be dope. I'd appreciate that. That'd be so cool, bro. And you could somehow tie dwarves into the Japanese stuff.
Yeah.
Or other races. But it doesn't have to be Japanese, but it would be dope.
Good world building, kind of like how Super is doing with like the different races and stuff that ties back to Saiyans and Friezas.
Yeah,
you could do that within the Black Clover universe. So
he definitely do. I could see another, like if he's ending it, I'm okay. But if he extends it for another 5 years or more, I'd appreciate it and I could see it. It wouldn't be like he's milking the series.
Yeah, because there's a lot more. There's like a lot of stuff that is like, if you want to end it. If you feel like you can't do it anymore, do it when it's golden. But there's a lot of stuff that he's left out as far as world building and lore that he could definitely expound upon.
I can't wait. I'm hyped for this week's chapter.
Yeah, I am. I am definitely. So it comes out on the 30th. So let's see.
I think that's what, Sunday?
That's Sunday. Yeah, that's Sunday. So
and if it's I'm not hyped. But if it's like more extended Magna stuff, like people just giving him his flowers.
Yeah.
Or maybe he do gets back up and then it's like Asta
pulls up like, I can't believe you're having trouble with him, The person in me that absolutely freaking hates, would love that, but
I geek out too.
I'm expecting to get his flowers. So
it'd be funny though if someone gives help, then I could shit on
Oh yeah, I mean, because Asta took care of 2 supreme demons by himself. is struggling against high level demon.
Yeah, technically Magna could give work because they're fighting the same level. Actually, he fought the lead. Magna fought the leader.
Yeah, he fought the leader.
So, hey, whatever do, man, he's number 4. Okay, he's a little bit above Luck because Luck killed a bunch of
mid levels.
Mid levels. So he's above Luck. I put Knock over him because Knock was doing his little thug bizzle.
Yeah.
Then you got Magna and Asta. So he's like 4th, 5th.
Yeah.
I'll give him I ain't gonna hate on him, but it don't matter what he does, bro. Magna's goated.
Yeah. That scene alone has cemented him as a staple to the series. It's one of those moments that you go back when we talk about moments in Black Clover. That's gonna be a moment that I recall, like similar to Asta crying when he couldn't do his thing when he first got his bull form, when he activated Devil Union. There's moments in Black Clover that you can go back to, and the Magna moment is one of those. So that's with all that being said, I guess we're gonna end things here, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this kind of new series that we're gonna try to do. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully we got you interested in Black Clover. You know what I'm saying? Leave a comment, you know what I'm saying, below to make us verify, you know what I'm saying, that we did our thing when it comes to this new structure. Be sure to show this new series some love. You feel me? Like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel. If you have not, you will know that you subscribed to the channel if it says subscribe. If it says subscribe, that means you're subscribed to the channel, and I appreciate it. But if it just says subscribe and it's a big red button, you're not. So click on that button. It literally, there's no subscription fee that pops up or anything. It's absolutely 100% free, and it'll take you less than a minute of your life to do all that stuff. Click on the bell icon that's next to the subscription button to turn on post notifications so you guys can be updated on the latest and greatest as far as content on our channel, whether that be through Black Otaku Plays, the new series Black Otaku Reviews, or our other podcasts, Black Otakus of the Culture, Threes from the Ring, and Timeless Vibes. Share this video across all social media platforms that you have available to you, so we can engage with a wider audience. You hear the intro theme is done by the boy Chaz Vibe, Pre-order Durag Season 5 bangerinos, you feel me? Link to his Apple Music platform in the description box below where you can do it. The boy DC, you know what I'm saying, has a link to his Instagram in the description box below. Link to his platform where he's also accepting commissions. He's also going to be doing some exclusive artwork for this new series that we have, so look forward to that. I'm very hyped about that.
I have another quick announcement. I will be at C2E2 this year, so if you're watching this, I'm going to try to get an artist table. I'm not 100%, but I will be there regardless. I will be plugging. If I don't get an artist table, I will have my website up where you can read me and Chaz's analog comics, all short stories that we did.
Look forward to all that, because I think C2E2 is in December, right? So
in December, yeah.
Yeah. So we got some time. So look forward to that, guys. And I think also follow us on. I think I'm gonna just tie Black Otaku Reviews into the Black Otaku Plays. So be sure to follow those social media platforms. We have a Facebook page. Follow and like, and also leave me a 5-star review if you would, please, at Black Otaku Plays, and follow me on Instagram at Black Otaku Plays, please and thank you. And with all that being said, guys, stay blessed. It's still Mental Health Awareness Month, so take care of your mentals. It's not no shame in seeking therapy or counseling. Take care of yourself. We're still in the midst of this pandemic, so you know what I'm saying, love yourself, appreciate yourself, be true to yourself, all those good things. Love you guys. Johnny.
Peace out.